What is up, everybody, and welcome to my new series, Is It Worth It? A first impression / review show where we take a look at the latest games or even some oldies and break them down, give you my thoughts and opinions, and tell you whether or not they are worth it, whether you should pick them up, or whether you should wait till they have on sale, or just avoid them altogether. Today we are taking a look at TMNT Shredders Revenge. It just hit Xbox Game Pass as of the 16th of June, and it's on multiple platforms as well. This is a blast. Shredders Revenge takes the arcade beat-em-up that once populated the late 80s and early 90s and modernizing it for newer audience. The team behind Streets of Rage 4, that was also on the Game Pass sometime last year, has been working very hard on this game. And the thing I love about this game is that it just has this raw gameplay feeling that is so simple and easy to pick up for everyone involved. But if you want to take it up a notch, you can. You can up the difficulty, you can go for those higher hit scores. The fluidity of combat with the moves and things that you can put together is very satisfying. If you love arcade games and couch co-op games especially, then you are going to want to play TMNT Shredders Revenge. Starting out, there are two modes that you can play in the game. You can play story mode or arcade mode. Story mode takes on like a narrative journey that allows you to go through a Mario style overworld that has some side collectible stuff to keep you busy. And there's roughly 15 to 16 levels that you will go through, and a little extra, you can do all the different side stuff. But if you play it solo, you can go through on all of the different characters, so it is repeatable, and you can go back and do all these different side challenges and such. And you can play it with up to 6 players co-op. So you can play with all of the characters that they have available. So you have access to all 4 turtles, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, and Leonardo, plus April and Splinter. And if you complete the campaign, you also get Casey as well. Most of the levels that you'll be going through are a variety of different locations, and you end with a boss fight at the end for some iconic turtle villains, obviously ending fighting Shredder. Me and a buddy jumped into the story mode, and it roughly takes around about 2 hours or so to complete all the levels, and that was just on the regular difficulty with 1 character each. You can swap and change your character in between levels if you just back out and go back in. And the main difference between story mode and arcade mode is that you get a small little progression system that allows you to unlock new super skills, like a super move in the air, a super move after the dodge, that can help you in later on levels. And also you can get this thing called radical mode, which gives you, I believe, a small damage bump, and you kind of have this cool like effect, like you're phasing as you're moving around, which is pretty cool. And I really like the level design and the way that it's set out. The boss fights are really well done. There's different varieties of them, whether or not you're going to be going through like hoverboard style levels, or you will be just going side scrolling, and then you'll end up fighting a boss that has these different mechanics and stuff. One of them, you can throw a foot soldier towards the screen, and that's how you actually progress the encounter. Otherwise, you're unable to do damage to them. And there's just a lot of really cool things that are in here when it comes to different bosses, and I absolutely love it. Arcade mode is just like story mode, except without the filler, and you have a certain amount of lives or tokens similar to the arcade machines of old. And you can just go back through all of the levels, all the 16 levels, but there's no middle section, there's no collectibles or anything like that. Story mode also has a lot of these challenges that can award XP that help you bump up your character's level as you go through, and probably there's unlockables if you complete all the challenges and stuff. And overall, these modes are perfect for the game, and the fit that the arcade has, it just gives me that feeling of going back to the Simpsons arcade game that I used to play when I was a kid. And it brings back a lot of those old memories, and I think it will do for a select audience that played those games back in the 80s and 90s. I didn't play any of the original TMNT games when they were on the older consoles, but this game is so fun, and I was obviously born a little bit earlier. I would have probably played them. Beating the story mode was fun. Takes around about 2 hours, as I've said previously, but it flew by, and it's easily an evening's worth of entertainment if you want to play with your kids, if you want to play by yourself or your a significant other, or even just want to get a couple of buddies over and have a good time. This is what you want here. I'd love to see an endless screen mode where it's just like one screen and there's a bunch of different enemies and different weapons that drop down onto the floor, something like that. And you just basically go ham and see how many, like what points that you can get. And then when you die, you can go to like the next turtle, the next character, and you scroll through them all and you see what your high score is. That'd be really cool. My biggest love for the game is the combo system though, and the combat loop. It's the same as most beat 'em ups. You press X to attack, you have a special move or like a super move. But this game allows you to rack up hits, and it feels like you're playing a fighting game more than you are playing an arcade beat 'em up. I found myself juggling enemies, trying to get to the highest possible score or hit counter chain, uppercuts into special moves, carrying enemies onto the next screen, and I could just continue the hit streak, and like it was just really satisfying to go through that. And the score at the end of the level can be affected, but it was just that feeling of, I want to beat my next hit score. I want to see if I can combo and keep combo without being hit. That made this so satisfying and why I love the combo system. The reason this is possible, though, is because of the variety of enemy types that they have. It's not just, colored, coordinated, different foot soldiers. They all have these different variations to them, which are very cool. Some of them have heavy attacks. Some of them have bladed weapons. Some of them, will dodge backwards and throw knives at you and such. And that all plays into the different characters. I played with Michelangelo, Donatello, and Casey, which I've said obviously you beat when you go through the story. And they have the star system, as I've said in the story, but they also have a star system when it comes to, the speed, the power, and the range. And each one of the characters has something unique to them, and they combo very differently. The playstyle is very different. Taking that into perspective, combat is very simple. If you expect anything more than that, then you may have to look elsewhere. But I would say the game's way of doing it is it leaves it up to the player with the tools available so you can rack up the highest score you can. The main negative I have to knock up on the game is that it is very limited when it comes to mode. I'd love to see a mini games or like a challenge mode or a boss rush mode. They're kind of absent here, but that is being really picky. Just the same as some of the hit detection and some of the perspective on some of the bosses can be a little jank here and there, but it's not enough to take or detract from the experience in my eyes. And, if you're one level higher or one level lower on the perspective screen, it can be, a little bit annoying, but it can, it's not game breaking. It's just one of those things. Maybe a little bit better variety of levels and not just kind of going left to right or, on these different skateboards or hoverboards that you have. Maybe going like up and down maybe would be pretty cool. Like the elevator sections were pretty neat as well when they were in there, and let's see more of those. But this is very minor. These negatives are very minor, and I don't want to leave anything out because the negatives are the only real things I can knock on the game, and I want to give you a fair assessment of my thoughts. The whole design of the game is just great. The sprites look awesome. The animations from each of the characters, from Michelangelo all the way through to April, are different and unique to the character. Mikey is quick and agile. Donatello has a longer reach because of his staff. Leo has a lot of the balanced moves, and the list goes on. Add into the fact that the combo moves are all different. The taunts that they all have are really unique. These different sprites and stuff and little pieces of dialogue made me laugh quite a lot. And I think that the visuals has that 80s style arcade aesthetic, and it's just so fun to be in. There's different tunnels, train stations, another dimension, the streets of New York. The designs of them all are just really cool. And even the foot soldiers are working in these different areas as well. This just added to the different varieties and added that little bit of style for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. And I would say that the music and also the intro of this was amazing. They basically took the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song that you all know and love, the most iconic one, and reimagined it as the starter intro, and you might see it on screen, but all the music sounded great, and I was just listening to the album on Spotify after I finished playing, and even writing all of my scripts for this video. I could just feel myself humming the theme tune all the time, and if that's the effect that the music has on you, then it's wonderful. I love that about games. If I have to give a definitive answer on this game, is this game worth it? Then the answer is hell yes. It's cheap. It's on Game Pass and a variety of different platforms. It can be beaten with players of all ages, and it's a wonderful evening's worth of entertainment. Plus, you can replay it over and over with other characters, which makes it just better. And I'm honestly surprised this game came out now in June and not in like the height of the season. But I can definitely see a lot of people picking this up. It's a summer hit for me, and I'm glad I've played it. Play it now. If we want to take a look at my final ratings, this is just a new system that I'm playing around with. We have 5 out of 5 Jimbos for fun factor, 5 out of 5 Jimbos for gameplay, 4 out of 5 Jimbos for art style and design, 2 out of 5 Jimbos for length and replayability, and 3 out of 5 Jimbos for difficulty. Shredders Revenge is awesome and one of the better games I played in 2022. Thank you so much for watching my first Is It Worth It, and I hope to see you all in the next game in the near future. If you like this video and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit like on it, subscribe if you are new, and turn on the notification bell. And as always, this has been It's Jimbo, and I will see you guys next time.